Me.
Final countdown. This is where it gets fun. This is where I come alive. Happy to be.
A lot to say. We're just ready to show up, and Jake's in good shape. His mind is very locked in and focused for this. So, we're all looking forward to it. So,
Jake Paul is deep into an intense heavyweight training program in Miami as he gears up for his December 19th clash with Anthony Joshua. He's working with top-tier sparring partners to mimic Joshua's size and power, alongside leading coaches guiding every move. His routine includes specialized therapists and cutting-edge training equipment aimed at enhancing strength, speed, and tactical sharpness. Every workout focuses on perfecting technique, building stamina, and mental preparation, making sure Paul steps into the ring fully focused and ready for one of the biggest challenges of his career.
So, time to shock the world, baby. I'm gonna shock the world again. You motherfucking sauce.
Jake Paul's training camp ahead of his showdown with Anthony Joshua showcases a level of commitment that's hard for most to fully appreciate. His coach notes that much of the hard work and sacrifice goes unseen. Long hours in the gym, intense conditioning, and careful focus on technique make up the daily grind that fans rarely witness. According to his team, the public often underestimates the preparation needed to face an opponent of Joshua's caliber. Jake is fully committed, enduring both physical exhaustion and mental pressure, but he powers through each session with unwavering focus, showing a dedication that goes beyond just the spotlight.
How much is sacrificed in the camp, and Jake sacrificed a lot to get ready for the last fight, on top of releasing the new brand W. And so he needed a break. And so we took a month off, got right back in there, and now we're getting ready for Mike. And we're not as heavy as we were before, which is a plus for us. I didn't want us to go back up, but you can guarantee he's gonna be ready to fight. I think in the last 6 weeks, you've seen Jake slowly tighten himself up and get himself prepared, and he's really locked in now. So what we've been able to see is Jake evolve into the gladiator. He's slowly evolving into the gladiator that he has become for fight night. About time he finishes the camp and goes through everything he needs to go through, by that night, he'll be fully prepared. His outer shell that he needs to be able to go in there and be the gladiator for the night, they'll have that ready, and that's what you see happening now. That's the process in which we're in now.
Every part of Jake Paul's training is focused on one clear objective: defeating a proven former champion. Experts highlight that his mental preparation is just as crucial as his physical training. He mentally runs through different scenarios, anticipates obstacles, and structures his workouts to build confidence while addressing potential weaknesses. This psychological preparation helps him stay calm under pressure and execute his game plan effectively when it matters most. Over time, Paul's mental maturity in the ring has grown, proving he is more than just a social media personality stepping into boxing.
Built for this. Enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. When it's over, I'm gonna be missing these moments.
145.
Sparring partners are a key part of Jake Paul's fight preparation. Sources in his camp say he regularly tests himself against seasoned boxers, often outperforming them to highlight the gap in skill and determination. Now, with Anthony Joshua as his target, Paul is training with partners who match the size and strength he'll encounter in the ring. According to his team, this is exactly the challenge he seeks: opponents who push him to his limits and force him to fine-tune his strategy. These sparring sessions help him practice reactions under pressure, sharpen defensive skills, and experiment with offensive combinations that could be vital against a heavyweight like Joshua.
Training with Jake Paul, when that was, how much sparring you did with him.
So training with Jake Paul, I got to understand how he was as a fighter. He was new into the boxing. You know, he was developing at a very quick rate. This guy trained his ass off. Like, we would spar twice a week in the hot-ass Denver, Puerto Rico. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Dude, when I tell you Jake was beating up all these professional boxers who was sparring them, it was just one of those, like, bro, he was whooping their ass and sending them home. That same night, he told everybody bluntly, I'm sending you, and home. Only person thinks he's this guy, Anthony. And he was like, the reason why, because this motherfucker's coming here and giving me work that I need. None of y'all is giving me the work y'all need.
Tony Jeff, a respected boxing coach, highlights the extraordinary intensity of Jake Paul's current training camp. He stresses that this is far from a typical regimen. It resembles the preparation usually reserved for Olympic-level athletes. Paul uses advanced equipment, specialized conditioning methods, and tailored coaching that targets every area of performance. The camp is designed to enhance not just strength, but also speed, stamina, and technical skill, offering a full-spectrum approach to elite boxing preparation. Jeff points out that this training allows Paul to adjust quickly to new challenges and maintain an advantage early in the fight. Unlike traditional camps that might focus mainly on one area, this all-encompassing program ensures Paul is well-rounded and ready for the very challenges he'll face against Joshua. The sophistication and intensity of this setup highlight Paul's serious commitment to competing at the highest level.
Great strength training for explosive power, slamming that ball against the wall and rotating, just like you'd be throwing a hook. You see there, he's caught it, he's pulled it back, turning into it, boom. We also see he's getting in the ice bath here. Now, ice baths is not just good for recovery, helping with the inflammation in your body after what you've been putting it through, but it's also good for the mental side of things. Because when you go in an ice bath, everything in your mind is saying, get out of here, what are you doing? So you've got to get past that part of your mind that's telling you that and, push through it. So it's great for your mindset as well. Now, one more thing I just want to add with Jake Paul's training before I give you a recap on it. We always see him training. Look, he's got like a group of people around him. There's cameramen there, there's coaches there, all spurring him on. Now, boxing is normally a very lonely sport. When you're in the gym, it's normally you and your coach. Unless you're dealing with a group of people, it's harder for you to get the one-on-one attention that you need. So when you're fighting as a pro, when I was fighting as a pro, it was often just me and my coach. Sometimes there will be another guy in there as well. Sometimes my dad would come, which really helped push me through the session. But when my friends did ever come, maybe one session here and there, that spurred me on even more to get the most out of us. As we see here, he's got people around him all the time. Cameramen, coaches, friends, strength and conditioning coaches, his boxing coach, and he's just his full team around him who's getting paid. What that does is help the fighter, in this case Jake, get more out of the sessions rather than being there by himself, which I think is great. When I was training for the Olympics, we had that sort of support around us and it was amazing. But when I turned pro, that went out the window because you've got to pay for that support. So now my final thoughts on Jake Paul's boxing training. There isn't anything I can pull apart here. Everything he's doing.
Veteran boxing commentator Dan Raphael points out how much Jake Paul has improved since his matchup with Tommy Fury. He highlights noticeable upgrades in Paul's technique, conditioning, and overall fight IQ, explaining that Paul now shows a deeper understanding of how to navigate different situations inside the ring. Still, Raphael stresses that these advancements don't change the size of the challenge ahead. Anthony Joshua remains a massive test. Paul's development proves he can adapt and grow. But many analysts believe this fight will reveal whether he can apply those lessons when the pressure is at its highest. Raphael's view strikes a balance between encouragement and realism. Yes, Paul has evolved, but taking on a former unified world champion demands precision, strategy, and flawless decision-making. His outlook recognizes Paul's progress while also noting that growth in boxing is an ongoing journey, especially heading into a fight with this level of significance. The host of the Wade concept adds another angle, focusing on Paul's mentality. He warns that while confidence is necessary in combat sports, there's a fine line where belief can drift into denial. Some analysts suggest Paul may be nearing that point, depending too much on self-belief instead of fully acknowledging the threats posed by Joshua's power and experience. The host emphasizes that stepping into a fight with unrealistic expectations can be dangerous, making honest preparation and mental discipline absolutely essential.
But he's actively like, yes, I am going to knock out AJ. And in any other timeline, we'd all point and laugh. And some people still are pointing and laughing, but I'm just sitting here going, what has he seen that makes him believe that? Not only of what's happened to AJ, sure, he's been knocked out by Daniel Dubois, another 240-pound champion of the world, but what has he seen in himself that makes him think he's going to knock out AJ when he hasn't knocked out anyone since Mike Perry? And Mike Perry, as we know, is not a high-level boxer. He hasn't knocked out a high-level boxer. He could hurt Julio Cesar Chavez, but Chavez knew to cover up and not engage. Maybe he thinks AJ will engage with him, and AJ does do some bad things in the pocket. Again, we'll save it for another video, but the only thing I can think of, and I said it at the beginning of this video, is Jake is absolutely delusional, and he's convinced himself of what's going to happen based on very outlying data, right? The Daniel Dubois knockout, how he struggled with Usyk.
Hey,
Who are you fighting, when, and why?
I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm fucking him.
What?
I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm him.
Holy shit, just let me take a second. Is this motherfucker out of
Dude, it's light work. Light work. Well, at least my good old friend Tyson Fury believes that I can win.
If Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul. I want some free money.
Smart man, Tyson.
I need to see a bet slip, Tyson. I know you got it like that these days. $1 million's like a, you know, like a slight 10,000 to the rest of us, but or maybe 1,000 after those couple of title fights with Alexander Usyk. But I need to see the bet slip. I saw the line when, and this is kind of crazy, I saw the line when the fight first got made, and we put it in the video. Jake was plus 800 to win. Jake has now moved to plus 650 to win. That's outright. I don't know by knockout, I'm not sure, but plus 800 was already like, okay, that's, you know, that's a big underdog. And Joshua was like minus 1,500, but now Joshua's at minus 1,250 and Jake's at plus 650. This line is closing, and I'm wondering why. What are people seeing?
Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance of drinking this Celsius.
Okay, there we go. Ads only. Yeah, I mean, having balls is good when it comes to making a fight like this, when it comes to, you know, putting yourself out there and again, just operating on self-belief, but it isn't going to win Jake this fight. Him being ballsy is not going to win him this fight. Like, him making the decision to take this fight is ballsy. And we can all say it, and we have said it, and I feel like it's starting to become a thing where it's like, that's the only thing we're saying. I feel like everybody is just pointing out that Jake has big balls for doing this, and that's a ballsy move. And that's correct, but we established that already. So now let's talk about the fight itself. What about Jake's ballsiness is going to win him this fight? The fact that he wants to throw, the fact that he'll mix it up, that may be the worst thing that Jake could do, is mix it up with Anthony Joshua, because again, you get into 50-50s with a guy that can crack like he can, 90% finish rate. He'll put you on the canvas. He's done it to so many other heavyweights. And yes, AJ sometimes is the one that gets clipped in exchanges like that, with the left hook especially, but we'll do a more